Hi, I'm Josh Hockman with Park Industries Customer Service Department. On this video, we are going to show you how to set up your proximity switches on a Fastback II, how to set them up on the screen so they know where they're located at. If you just replace a Prox and you are physically mounting it and you need to know where to set that at, we do have another video for that on how to set that one. But to start out with here, for setting the Proxes, once you have them physically mounted where they should be, we're going to press and hold our PI button for 5 seconds until we can get into this screen. We're going to go past our solenoid valve screen and past our motor screen, and then we're going to start with Spindle 1 Centerline. So to start out with here, we can see we're going from the first hold down roller and we're measuring to the center of the spindle. And this is where the material, you can see the material is past it, so this is where the material is coming off of that first hold down roller. So to start out with, I'm going to mark my center of my spindle 1, because once I have my material in there, or I'm gonna use our aluminum bar to set this up, I won't be able to access this. So I'm going to use just a straight edge and put that edge right on the center of that spindle. And you should be able to just follow your grooves up the belt here if you don't have or are unsure about the straight edge. So I'm just going to put a little mark on my belt here where that is. And you can just follow this groove up if you want and put a mark on here. Or you can put a mark on your belt and hold your straight edge up right where your marks are, and then mark your center of your spindle 1. I am only putting a mark on the plastic because this will just scratch right off of that UHMW plastic then. If you mark on the machine, that'll more than likely just stay on there. Once you have that center of spindle 1 marked, for this one, we're going to slide our aluminum bar in almost all the way. And to come back, compress onto my aluminum bar. This aluminum bar is 3/4 of an inch thick. So that's what I'm going to set mine at. And you can see here on the screen that the proximity light lit up green. So I know my roller is compressed and that proximity switch is reading that. My conveyor speed is at 60. I'm going to turn that down to 30. This does work a lot better the more accurate you are. So I'm turning it down so I can stop it and find that edge right away. Then once you have that, we're just going to start the conveyor, watch that real slow, and as soon as that Prox light turns off, I am going to stop the conveyor. Once we have that stop there, we can just line up with our aluminum bar on our edge and line up here and put our mark. Once you have your 2 marks now, we're going to see what our measured distance is. I'm going to cut 2 inches here. So I'm at about 6 and 3/16 here is what I'm measuring. I'm not going to change this with the camera. It was a little hard to get accurate measurement and see accurately there. So I'm not going to change our distance because I believe this is set up a little better, but whatever you measure there is what you would input on that value. Once you have that done, you don't need to do anything else. You can move on to your next step. So our next step is going to be Spindle 2 Centerline here. So to do this, we can see we are going from the center of spindle 2 to the beginning of the material where hold down number 4, roller number 4 is coming on. So we are going to pull this back. Open that up so we can see. And I'm going to put my mark right away for spindle 2. I'm going to put it on the center here. Just use my grooves on my belt to guide. Straight up, and right there, the center of spindle 2. Once we have that set, I'm going to come right before spindle 4, because I just need to know when it turns on. Or not spindle 4, hold down 4. And I'm going to set that to my 3/4 of an inch that my aluminum bar is. And I'm going to just hit jog conveyor and just watch for that Prox light to turn on. As soon as that Prox light turns on, I'm going to stop it. Put my straight edge right on the front of my aluminum bar. Make my mark, and then I can cut that so we're at about 2 7/8 there. So like I said, with the camera I'm measuring a little different and when I stop and stuff. So I'm going to leave our measurement, but you'd want to input your measurement then on your spindle 2 centerline. Then your spindle 2 is set up then for when that's triggered. Now we're going to go to the next screen, see what our next one is. Now this is our switch length. So I didn't move anything yet. So right now it is good where everything is sitting. And what we're doing is measuring the distance between when this number 4 hold down roller turns on and when it turns off. So the distance that it's rolling across there, because of the diameter of the roller, you'll have a difference there when it turns it on and when it turns it off. So I'm going to keep track of this mark here. I'm just going to put a little line there so I know that's my mark, because I still have my other marks I never erased. And what we're going to do is just let this jog all the way down until that proximity switch shuts off, and then we will stop it again. We're going to pause the video here and let this jog down. So we'll start there. Okay, I'm getting close to my end here, so I'm watching my proximity switch, and as soon as that turns off, we will stop that. And then take your straight edge onto my aluminum bar. Make my mark. And then we want to just grab our tape measure. And measure that distance. So it looks like I'm at 11/16 here, which is 0.687. We're at a 0.90, but just like the other ones, with the camera and stuff, I'm not getting very accurate measurements to, just because of the angles and stuff I'm at right now, but we would input that distance into there. Our last one then is our tool length offset here. So we're going to remove our aluminum bar. And on this one, we are going to want to measure our spindle, front of spindle 1, lost my straight edge here. So you can see we're measuring from the front of spindle 1 to where the material is detected on the first hold down roller. So we're going to start by measuring right off of our spindle 1 here, trying to hold as straight as we can. A combination square might work a little better in this scenario, so you can just lay it on the front edge of that spindle. So I'm going to find that so that it's right on this groove here. Come up, and right there is our mark. So here now I need to set my hold down to 3/4 of an inch that my aluminum bar is in. And we're going to start jogging the conveyor forward. And this one's a little tricky because I'm gonna just hold my aluminum bar tight to my conveyor here, but then I need to stop it as soon as that lights up. So it's gonna come on fairly quickly once it starts going into that roller here. Once we have that, use our straight edge again. To make our mark. Now I'm just going to come out so I can really see which one was my straight, or my beginning of my tool one. So that's going to be this one here, and then this is where my stone detection is. Now we'll grab our tape measure. I'm going to cut 2 inches again there, and take our measurement here, and then we would just come back to our screen and input our value that we get. So that is how you do a full setup of your proximity switches. If you guys have any questions, please let our customer service department know, and we'd be glad to help. Thank you.